He is our current registrar here at Shorter College. He is pursuing his doctorate degree at Jackson State University in Jackson, Mississippi. He's a graduate of Alabama A, M, and N. Is that right? And he's just a good person to be around and to learn from. So if you will just keep in mind of the presentation, this presentation will help you in your future endeavors. So I won't say any more. I will present to you Mr. Harrison Johnson.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. I appreciate that. He called me yesterday afternoon as I was preparing something for Dr. Gilbert, but I still was prepared enough to come down here and do this. So I'm honored. I'm grateful anytime I get a chance to actually be before the students, because again, it's not about us that work here, but those that work for you all. So I'm grateful for this opportunity. Wake up, wake up. Anybody that had my class know I call you out. So those who have not had my class or any of my classes, don't be offended. But this is all about being, from what I was told, being interactive or whatnot. So at some point I will call on you or someone else, one of the audience members. You may choose to call on one another. But if you can at this point, refer to your handouts that you should have picked up at the table before coming in. It should be 2 pieces of paper. And one actually gives you a description. Again, the purpose of today's chapel service is, of course, to make sure that you all are prepared, because one thing that we want to make sure we do at Shorter College is ensure that before you graduate, that at some point we've touched all areas of life that would make you successful in the professional world, okay? And if you want to look at the first handout, look at the back page, this page right here. You can see right here where it starts with, what does business casual attire mean? Ms. Johnson, you want to tell us what that means? Could you read that to us? The do's and don'ts?
Where is it?
Right here. You want to help her out?
Do's and don'ts?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no problem with that.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay. Business casual attire. Do's and don'ts of dressing for interviews. And what does it mean? For women, khaki, corduroy, twill, or cotton pants or skirts. We wear sweaters, twin sets, cardigans, polo, knit shirts. Solid colors work better than bright patterns.
Thank you so much for that, Ms. Johnson.
You're
I'm
welcome.
calling Joe. Could you go ahead and read for me? You don't have a handout? Help him out, sir. Yeah, right there where it says men. What is acceptable for a man?
Khaki, gabardine, or cotton pants, nearly pressed, cotton long sleeves, button down shirts, pressed, polo shirts, or knit shirts with a collar, sweaters, leather shoes, and belt, tie options.
Okay. So this basically went over again, just the basics of what's acceptable for business casual when going to an interview. Okay, and one thing that I did see it mentioned for the men, but it did not for the women. So I take it whoever this author was assumed that a woman would show up neatly pressed and clean. But the same thing that is specified for men, ladies, you also want to ensure that your dresses or whatever garb you choose to wear is actually clean and pressed as well, okay? Samantha, go ahead and go over what it says. What's the difference between business attire and casual attire? Because I may not know.
When interviewing for a professional position, at a traditional company, it's always important to dress professionally and to dress in your best business attire, regardless of the dress code of the organization. For other more casual workplaces, business casual attire is more appropriate.
So a lot of this, you should actually have gotten before you saw whatever company it is that you're interviewing for. So let's take I have a friend that's an accountant. It's a professional job at a business for Golden Plank in Birmingham, Alabama. However, they don't necessarily wear shirts and ties and suits to work every day. They actually they have Golden Flake branded shirts like we have at Shorter College. I think you may have seen Mr. Watkins or Reverend Mary at some point, or even any of us here, staff persons or faculty, wearing a Shorter College t-shirt some days, or just a Shorter College polo shirt, with the actual seal on the side. That's
That's acceptable in this environment. However, before you go to a job interview with Dr. Gilbert, Reverend Williams, I said I wasn't gonna call her Reverend Mary anymore, since we don't call men Reverend O. Jerome. But anyway, Reverend Williams, you wanna make sure that you wear a suit because this is a professional company. So even though I gave you the example of Golden Flake in Birmingham, Alabama, how many of you all eat those chips? I think that's the one that, Sweet Heat or something like that. That's the one I heard is good. It's a barbecue flavored chip, but nonetheless, if you go interview for a job at Golden Flake, regardless of what the job is, whether it's working on the line, working in an office, or working security at the gate, you want to ensure that you wear, men, a shirt and a tie and some slacks, pressed and clean or whatnot. And ladies, what does it say? Go ahead and Samantha, read for women. What should a woman wear?
Women, solid colored, conservative suit with light or dark colored blouse, moderate shoes, pantyhose, limited jewelry. Neat professional hairstyle, manicured nails, light makeup, little or no perfume. Portfolio or briefcase.
Thank you, thank you. Sydney, do you mind meeting the men for me?
Okay, solid color, conservative suit, long sleeve shirt, conservative tie, dark socks, professional shoes, neat hairstyle, trim nails, little or no cologne or aftershave, portfolio or briefcase.
Thank you, thank you. So those will be appropriate if you have a job interview at an institution like Shorter College or at a business like a Golden Flake, okay? And even so, I know more so, we had a student to graduate, they got a job, he received a job at Tyson Chicken, right? Even though the job required him to work on the line, however, he was still advised to wear a shirt and a tie and slacks, being them earned, okay, and clean. Even though his job was a dirty job. I don't know if you've seen that show. What is that show? Is it called Dirty Jobs? But yeah, with that guy, okay. I get that mixed up with Undercover Boss. Most of those jobs are dirty jobs. Anyway, he still wore a shirt and a tie and slacks or whatnot, okay? Now, I did a short stint at one of the local grocery store chains here. Matter of fact, wake up. She saw me there and the first thing she said was, dang, y'all work everywhere. Because the lady that work at the office work at Old Navy. I mean, they say we work everywhere. It's okay, it's okay. We believe in hard work at Shorter College, here and away from here, okay? But nonetheless, working at a grocery store, that did not require me to wear a suit to the interview. But however, it did require me to wear business casual, like such what I have today, a button-down shirt and some slacks. Rashawn, do you mind, Ashley, read what it requires for women, and then Troy read for men.
For business casual?
Yes.
Okay, khaki, corduroy, twill or cotton pants, or skirts, neatly pressed, sweaters, twin sets, cardigans, polo knit shirts, solid colors work better than bright colors.
And the same for me, and I think we read this at the front. So nonetheless, and going to work at that grocery store chain, you don't necessarily have to wear a suit. However, you could dress like what Mr. Sidney has on today, khakis and a nice button-down shirt. It is neat, it's clean, and it's pressed. Now, the one accessory that's not mentioned here, but I heard it go out, that a lot of times we bring to job interviews that is a big no-no. It should not be on your person, but you should leave it in the car is what?
Your cell phone.
Absolutely. Vibrate and silent is not an option because you don't want that to be an instance whereby you don't get a job because your phone just so happened to have gone off for whatever reason in the midst of that job interview. That's the one accessory that you do not want to bring really into the facility. Even working at that grocery store chain, I left it in the car because at that point I didn't need it, right? Because usually they give you directions, wake up. You bored? You bored, I'm wake up. But anyway, even if they give you directions, meet at this room, meet in this office, at this building, at this time. And sometimes jobs actually give you a dress code as to what they expect you to even wear. You know, some will say, well, because we'll be in the grocery store, we don't require you to wear business attire, but wear comfortable shoes for walking, okay? Also, and clothes, breathable clothes. I had an opportunity to interview with one of the shipping chains, I think you can refer to as that. It was UPS. So in that job interview, in the email that they sent out, they let me know wear comfortable walking shoes. The environment is hot, so be sure to wear breathable clothes. Because in some instances, I would hate that. Wake up, wake up, wake up. We rolling, you getting good stuff out of this. Well, you will later. Nonetheless, but things that would get you used to working in that environment. So at this point, we're going to direct our attention to Ms. Washington, who's going to direct in those do's and those don'ts. And since you all have a little bit of information, or you should have more than what you came in here with, you'll be able to tell us what's a do and what is a don't in regards to being dressed appropriately for whichever job you choose to go to.
First, we're gonna have, you let me
Stay right there, Mr. Watkins. So what's the first thing? That's it for me. Aside from dress, because we don't know what job he's actually going to. He could have been going to UPS. What else do we see? Dr. Gilbert sees something. Okay. Okay. Anything else? He says get out. Do we see anything? We don't even have his attention. His attitude. We don't even have his attention. So would you hire this individual for whatever company? That's a good point. That's exactly what that reads. Thank you, Mr. Watkins. We appreciate it. Yeah, he already got it made. He's a millionaire, self-made millionaire.
Next we have Carl Green.
Okay. You right here. Okay. So what? Give me the dues. Thank you. We got it. We learning something here. Go ahead. Thank you, Mr. Green. That's it. White collar shirt. The next one. Oh. Go ahead, Ms. Johnson. Yeah, I even kind of looked at that and said, you can go right here. So what do we see wrong with what Mr. Joyner has on? So we say. Okay, so I think I heard sunglasses, telephone. Okay, thank you, Mr. Joyner. I think we got that one. All right, go ahead. Ms. Johnson had a comment. Hold on, you all.
He could be the worst employee, but he got the job solely on how he looked. I mean, he was hired when he walked through the door. And you have to remember that. I've hired people that looked the part but were horrible employees. So, you know, it's either or. You can get a job by the way you look.
Thank you. Uh-oh, next. Go ahead. Mr. Allman, thank you. Okay, so we get it. You want to stay right there? You can come around and stand right there. Thank you. No, you good. So what do we say about Mr. Allman? We say dudes. He does have the briefcase, absolutely. He is professionally dressed. He actually has a haircut. All right, thank you, Mr. Allman. We appreciate it. That's good. Thank you all for participating. Blue Cross Blue Shield. Okay. All righty, so Ms. Johnson, you tell me, this Ms. Sharon Johnson, tell me what is Latrina a do or a don't? She's a don't, okay. Samantha, is Latrina a do or a don't? Ashley, you said you would hire her, you would not? Okay. Okay. Anybody say she's a do? Is this the right? I don't know. This she had something. Hold on. Shh. Hold on. Hold on. Oh. Okay, you also.
The dress is the length, like when I was doing interviews, you weren't supposed to be covered. Cause women, you're just supposed to be covered.
Okay, so a woman is supposed to be covered when going to an interview, and also she addressed the hosiery, correct? She said the dress is the correct length, however, it is sleeveless, so therefore they would deem this as a don't. But I noticed something else. You could, not hair, confidence. I don't know if it's confidence. I don't know if you read that as an attitude or it's a bit much. So I don't know. People read things differently. I'll say that. People read things differently. So you have to be very careful. I guess they call it poise. Dr. Gilbert, somebody help me out. Poise, ladies are men too, I guess. Yeah, what she just said. Yeah, attitude. Thank you, Ms. Williams. All right. Oh, Mr. Baker had a comment. Go ahead. Oh, he mentioned tattoos. So do you? Okay. All right. Thank you. Uh-oh. All right. So we say a do. We say professional dress. She has them. Okay. Okay. Now, what's the difference between her hair and Latrina's hair? Okay. Someone mentioned her hair is combed. Okay. It's neat. Someone said neat hair. Go ahead, Ms. Jones.
Back to the previous portrayal.
Okay.
If I may suggest, honestly speaking, in business, it's too much. Even though it was all of this and the color scheme, especially in the African American community.
Hold on. Whose phone is going off? Excuse me.
I got a comment, please.
Go ahead.
What would make it shoot too much so we'll know what to look for?
Can we have her to come back? This
Did she go over there?
the blonde, the color scheme, especially.
Well, we want to compare Harrison. Make it, yeah, let her stay. Let her stay.
Set it out.
First of all, I love the layout, Madam President and SGA. Due to the fact it is worldly, not ready for corporate, as opposed to the second contestant. The hair is pulled back, more consecutive corporate style, as opposed to the first. And also red hair. The entrepreneurs that even with small business, those are being red flag. Red hair. Red hair? The red hair. And as we highlighted with our black men, with the locks.
Oh.
Keep that in mind, according to smallbusiness.com.
Thank you, ladies. All right, we'll have the next person.
Jewelry, we're saying too much makeup.
Too much attitude.
And too much attitude. Can you give us an assessment? Hold on, we're gonna let Reverend Williams give us an assessment.
No,
Is this a do or a don't? And if it's a don't, give us the don't. What are the don'ts? Too much jewelry. She's too sweaty. Okay.
Pants are too tight.
Her pants are too tight.
So we do agree. You can see through her shirt.
Sunglasses.
But what if she has a medical condition, Reverend Williams? She can't wear sunglasses to the interview?
No.
You need to give a disclaimer, I suppose. Before you go in.
Need some more, glaucoma.
Thank you, Ms. Washington. We appreciate it.
Go ahead. Mrs. Owens has a comment. Okay, you go. Mrs. Scarborough.
All right, so this is do or a don't.
Social minister.
If I may suggest, because we are in Arkansas, because of the climate, when we are going out for an interview, if we have on light colored pants, the undergarment should be light colored. That's right. White on white, just like it was with the excellent example with the pink bra. It really should either be black or white with the blazer, so we can camouflage with the buttocks. So always remember that.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Owens. Go ahead.
we'll have it, Shanice Galloway.
Okay.
Oh, that's a double. Oh.
What is the job again?
What's the job? Professional job. The job is a professional job.
The job is a professional job that Ms. Galloway is actually here to interview for. So do we deem this a do or a don't?
No.
What's a don't about it?
The dress too short. The boobs too long. And not the point around the pole.
Thank you, Ms. Galloway. We know that's a don't.
Okay, go ahead.
Is this a do or a don't?
That's
Very
important.
Wait a minute. What did you say, Reverend Henderson?
These little stocking gotta go.
Reverend Williams, what did you say? They work. And someone said
Tone. So it's appropriate for her skin tone, Reverend Henderson. All right, there we go. That was good. That was good.
so this one may be hard. If it's winter time, we say it's a do or a don't. It's a do
or a don't. We say what some people are saying depending on the job and where is she going? Where are we going? Ms. Johnson is saying no, and Reverend Woods, did you say something different? She says no. Ms. Johnson says no. What did you say, Leticia? No. Anybody say yes? Wait. Okay, thank you. Gum.
They said the scarf is appropriate, but I don't think
Oh.
No more than a 3-inch heel.
No more than 3-inch heel. So a moderate shoe. I think your handouts do mention that. A moderate length. I believe I remember reading that. Moderate length shoe. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Conway. Thank you. Mr. Vincent Jordan. All righty. So do we say do or don't?
He says don't.
But let me bring up one point.
Miss Owens.
On his hair. Hold on, wait. Wait a minute.
Due to the fact now, because again, with small business, for the ethnic, for the interview, as long as we have the hair pulled back, the cornrow like he does, do a pivot once, Mr. Joyner. He has the pull back and the cornrow, it is highly appropriate. However, if it was loose, it would not be acceptable. That's right. But also,
There are still some small businesses that will not take the cornrow.
And that was found constitutionally, they could, not, I won't say discriminate, but they could.
Absolutely.
I think so, yeah, so you cannot be, you cannot be hired due to having dreadlocks if you are African American. Yeah, that was constitutionally, yeah.
And you're killing the shoe game too.
It is. Someone has a question, Mr. Alma.
My brother works corporate in Washington D.C. and he tells me that with the puff in the pocket that the owners of the business told him they didn't want to dress like that. That's I usually have a puff in my pocket.
So no pockets for you.
That's why I didn't use one today because he had told me that.
So me and take note of that.
That's not a good rule.
Tattoos, where are your tattoos?
You don't have
Can't see them. Oh, I understand.
Earlier, someone said I'll tell you what, one of my best friends works for Dallas County. He's a juvenile probation officer. He has to put, what is it concealer? It covers it up, it matches his skin, so he does concealer. So Mr. Joyner, before he goes to Washington D.C., he'll probably more likely lose the pocket square, and he'll go ahead and get some concealer that matches his skin. That will allow him to sit in that interview and not be discriminated any more than he made already. Anybody else have any questions regarding Mr. Joyner? Any comments? Yes, ma'am.
My son Jeffrey, who's now in Dallas, also had locks. Before him to be hired as HR manager, they offered him, we would like, according, and they stated, as you all know, PP, the policy and procedure, you are allowed to have your hair cut, honestly speaking. So if you want the job, maybe part of their requirements is it was mandatory for a low-cut groom. And by your locks being too long, if you want the $50,000 job, you will have to cut it. My cousin in Philadelphia had to cut it.
Yeah. That's like when the business forum said, go ahead.
Presenter is Ms. Tiffany Morgan.
We're saying do it up. We want to have. She look all right. Her hair calm. She pregnant. She got a professional dress.
And her dress too tight.
You sure? She's clean. Her clothes are ironed.
Her tied too. She got a big ring.
I guess this is a question for the ladies.
Ladies, Mr. Watkins.
The red shoes, is that a dog? That's the new thing, is the red shoes.
But the bottom is red, not the whole shoe. She on her
Someone said on the bottom of the shoe, but not the whole. Now, I'm gonna bring up a good point, and the reason why, stay right there. The reason why I told you all to leave that main accessory, the cell phone, away, is because you guess what? Some businesses watch you from the parking lot. And they will let you know, we are watching, this is a surveillance facility. They watch you from the parking lot, and they're gonna speak to your character. Is she prepared for this interview? Because when she first hit what we could see her, which could be the parking lot, she was on the phone. So is she mentally prepared? Because how you interview is how they believe that you're gonna work.
Right.
So if she pulled up to the interview on the cell phone, maybe she's gonna pull up to work on the cell phone. I don't think you necessarily focus for this job, or what we have to offer, may not even be for you. That even speaks to call center jobs. You know, you're gonna spend most of your time on their phone, and they're gonna pay you to be on the phone. However, but we don't want to see you on your phone. That's why most businesses have a cell phone policy. They have a cell phone policy. I think Reverend Williams had a question there.
One thing about the red shoes may or may not work, but definitely try not to wear them for an interview. If that's what you know. If you know you're going for an interview, don't wear the red shoes. Now, once you're in,
So Reverend Williams say, don't wear it to get the job. Go ahead and get it, then pull them out.
right.
Go ahead, Ms. Lawrence.
I just want to also highlight, ladies and gentlemen, your first interview is the application process if it's not done online. Because when you walk in and ask for one, that's your first concept and incept to ask for a job. If you're smelling like, when I was in Stuttgart, they smell like marijuana, and they brought 3 friends with them, ruined. When they filled it out, I ripped it and put it in file 13. Exactly. So always keep in mind, your first interview is upon interest on site. And I love the way you asked Mr. Johnson, y'all ain't hiring, are you? That's number 2. Wrong concept. Very good.
I'm asking Mr. Brunson. Would you hire Ms. Morgan?
She would probably be on the list, but not high on the list.
Oh.
She's got some positives, but she's also got some negatives.
Okay. So she could potentially, you all, make the list, but because it was already deemed twice, 3 times, that it is a don't do this. Okay? Save yourself. Get the job. Thank you. And I guess you all are gonna come back and do a walk. And she mentioned, does she have some on? I don't know. Okay, so you're supposed to wear hosiery, and it does say that in your handouts too, women. Ladies, hold on.
Ladies, black pantyhose, we do not wear black pantyhose. We may wear nude toes. Like who y'all wear this
So what if I'm dark skinned or purple?
don't put no nude coat on. I'm not wearing no nude.
Okay.
I don't wear nude.
Complexion plays a big part of your whole life. You say right there. It's like everybody at this point is gonna do a walkthrough. This is a good exercise and exposition. But each of us, we all need to be updated on what's appropriate. So how do we feel? Do we feel like we know what we do need to do when preparing for a job interview, or do we still not know? We think we might make some mistakes and do some dumb.
We know.
Okay. So it has been impressive. Did you have any commentary?
Did y'all enjoy the presentation?
Yeah.
Did you learn anything? Well, thank you for staying and allowing us to present this. This was SGA's host week, so I'm hoping that you guys enjoyed it.